Yo, big up Wagwan, why pre, where you deal with, where you depend, up top, blessings. You don't know we go. And we're there, back again with another one. And this time we're here to discuss, break down, and talk about the Manchester City versus Arsenal game at the Emirates took place last Sunday. No, we're a bit late in terms of when the stream was supposed to happen, but like I said in my community post, stuff been I've been taking care of some stuff over the past couple of days, but we're here now. We don't run, win, lose, or draw. We're always here, and I have my brother, my brethren, Utah from the JA Dugout, usually features over there, but today is making his debut on the channel. What you say to me, Utah?
Respect, man, bro. I'm happy to be here. Love what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. I'm just glad
Respect,
that
bro.
you can be here and join the stream and let's discuss. What happened.
Yeah, I mean it's lots of hard work, but the community being here supporting me, that always give me an extra push to keep going. So
Hey, man,
yeah,
continue to be up, bro. I love what you're doing because you see, you have other people from all around the world. I see you have big
yeah,
Steve
yeah, 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 yeah. As
logging.
long as them continue to show support, honestly, I think I'll use that
Yeah,
as motivation to keep going. But speaking of that, we have a few comments in here that I want to get to, and big up to everybody who is here and commenting early. But after this, then we can get into the meat of the matter. I know you're probably raring to go, but just hold on for a little minute.
yeah, man.
Big up MCFR TV in the chat as usual. First comment today, big up to you. Daisy Maria Gentles, big up to you again. She says, greetings, my fellow blues, and tuning in from Quebec, Canada. Big up yourself. Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, 4 minutes late for start of the stream, not too bad, but I did tell you guys I wanted to do the stream on Monday. I usually do my review streams the day after the game, but like I said, man, everything is good. Um, you know what? email me email me what you're thinking, and then we'll talk, but definitely email me. I'm a rookie in terms of making thumbnails as well, so I look at anything that you have planned. um this is not mine, it is from the platform I'm using, so yeah, that's where that's from. Daisy also saying, I'm hoping the guest is respectful. Hey, personal friend of mine, of course he is. I know I don't really support the best team, but he's a good youth, see, he's a good guy. And also says the J Doggo isn't doing too good. Hey, don't worry, things will take off. Things will definitely take off. I know all of them are doing a lot in terms of personal life as well, so things might not be as consistent as it needs to be, but don't worry, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't worry about it. But yeah, all the comments done, and let me put a star right there for where we'll continue back from. But just to basically move on to the match now, I want to ask you, what were your thoughts on the first half? Try to keep it mainly on the first half because we'll speak about the second half separately and stuff that happened there. But watching that first half, how were you feeling?
Okay, so first half, you guys deserve to go ahead, to be honest. From the first chance that Ake got, and they head off the line, which they kind of cleared it off. So, I mean, the first half, I think Arteta's approach was, like in previous matches where he would just try to play City head on, and you can't really do that, or you'll be blown out or blown away by City greatness. So I think he started off in a way where he was a bit cagey. The players were more defensive. You had most of the ball. You guys were more on the you know the, and it's more intentional in getting a goal and like leading the game. So it was a bit surprising for me because I don't normally see Arsenal play like that. Even if we are going to lose at home, we don't normally give up the ball like that. And also the Kovacic incident, I think he should have been sent off because I mean the first challenge, if you're working off the precedent that happened in the Curtis Jones challenge and the week before that with Malagusto at Chelsea, then based on the tackling which Kovacic did, then it would not be a straight red. But I mean, the referee gave a yellow, but then the one on Declan Rice was another yellow because he missed the ball entirely. He was reckless in his tackling. I do believe that he got away there, but in being on the pitch for the 45 minutes. So I mean, it was cagey. It was. I mean, I just felt like Arteta was, mimicking whatever Pep did, whatever the structure was. So he basically he closed off the middle at the pitch.
Mm.
To me, he closed off the middle. So you guys don't really have. You guys weren't really playing that pacey winger, that skillful winger. I remember I used to hate playing Man City because I hate guys like Mahrez, bro, and Sterling and Sane because they used to be so tricky and just turn us over. So because you guys didn't have that pace and trickiness, we kind of forced you guys into the middle of the pitch and which you close it off. So I mean, you guys deserve to lead off based on the first half. You guys are the better team. And those are my comments.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to say kind of goes over some of the stuff that you mentioned, of course. If you look within that first 5 minutes, I really do agree that we should have taken the lead there, and that was a big missed opportunity, quite literally.
Really, yeah, 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 really,
Um, I
really.
think it was Vardial off the corner, and he had that volley, falling volley that he had
Oh,
beat Raya,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
who was it? Declan Rice who cleared it off the line. Brilliant goal line clearance. I was looking at it like, oh, this
Yeah,
chance come
almost score.
too early in the match,
Really.
for really be fully locked in and took advantage of it. And obviously Nathan Ake's shot after that. I'm going to see with him just a little bit because looking back at it, I think it was Saliba was putting on a lot of pressure on him by
Pushing.
the time he got to
Yeah,
the ball. But regardless of that, bro, you have to be finishing that chance. I think if he gets it on target, it's very difficult for Raya make that save because of how close he was.
yeah,
So I think it was a bit embarrassing that he couldn't afford to put that on chance. He's a centre back though, so I'm not
yeah. You kind of
too worried.
understandable. It's
Yeah, but
understandable.
bro, over the bar, I would have much prefer if him put it wide, bro. Like over the bar from there is crazy to me. I cannot lie.
And also, in the first half, Raya was a bit shaky, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was kicking away the ball. He almost got caught up by Alvarez. So I was like, yo, maybe he's not.
I was very disappointed with our press in terms of that. Like a lot of the times it felt like it was just Alvarez alone pressing him.
Yeah,
And
person.
I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, make Alvarez engage and then by the time him turn around, Haaland or Foden supposed to be right on him next foot, like
yeah,
force him to make a mistake.
yeah,
Like
real, bro.
me, I'm not the best footballer. I'm sure you probably know that from high school days. But when me I play football nowadays, bro, goalkeepers hate me because if I one thing I know I can do is
It's
press. I might not be
pressing.
the most technical, but I know I'm fast and I go put pressure upon the goalkeeper. I'm gonna score a lot of goals like that, forcing them to make mistakes when they basically give the ball to me. And
Yeah,
Haaland in particular, I don't think he was even making an effort to press. So I was really surprised. Like, is this instruction? But I don't think so because Alvarez was very aggressive or trying to be at least. So I was very surprised that Raya looking that shaky. We didn't apply more of a
yeah. He look.
press on him, but
I mean, if you add more pressure, I think you
that
guys
does
would
open
have,
up more space.
it have opened up
It
more
does open up more
space.
space. Yeah, and Raya is very good with his
And
feet,
him
so
good with the
I can
ball. But to
understand
be
that
honest, he
pressing
was
him
having
as
a
well.
poor game. He was kicking away the ball a lot. I think he was very nervous. I think like remember you playing at Brentford and you playing at Arsenal, and you were title challengers last season. No, remember we did not beat you guys in so many years, man. So I think he was under the pressure. You know, he was really under the pressure. But I mean, it was just it was, and also City did something what I never normal really them say. I was wondering if because of the injuries, but you guys ensure that you didn't leave any spaces in behind. I mean, you guys had probably you had the four defenders, but you always had persons ensuring that they're covering the spaces in behind, which is
Mm.
not
I hear
so
you.
maybe because Rodri was out, but you guys ensure that you had the spaces in between the lines and in behind so that you guys weren't caught out easily. But yeah, bro, the first half, you guys really deserve to be in it. There wasn't much in it. As I said, both teams were like feeling each other out and,
Mm.
keep retaining the ball, and thing. It was just a midfield battle. And you guys had the chance, two chances really.
Yeah.
One accident by Rice and then Ake miss. And that was it. I doubt we had a shot on target in the first half. Probably was wide by Nketiah, but yeah,
Yeah. That's another thing.
yeah, Nketiah is not good enough to lead us. I mean, he's good as a. I mean, he says as a sub, like as a sub, like if you want a goal, like you need him, like probably like cup matches. But it's in big games, bro. Like you need quality. You need
Can I just
quality.
pause it right there for a
Yeah, man.
second? Um, Manchester is Blue in the chat. I do ask that before your timeout next time, just give her a warning like, hey, I see the volume of messages you're putting into the chat. So please slow down instead of just directly going in for the timeout. I understand why Daisy might be upset about that, but I do also understand where you're coming from in terms of the volume of messages. So I would just say like just tell her to slow down a little bit, and she does have a point. Like what she was saying was on topic, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to the chat, so I can't say if it was too much messages or not. But just give out some warnings next time before you get to the timeout step. Otherwise, then cool. But yeah, you were finishing your point, Utah.
Yeah, I was saying, bro. I mean, the first half. I was saying, in order to capitalize, on City, you need quality, and I'm saying that Nketiah is not it because you're playing
Mm,
against the best centre backs in the world. You're playing against one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he really didn't cause any harm to anybody around there. He was just working hard and thing, but we don't need that,
yeah,
bro. We don't need the hard workers. We already passed that phase. We need persons who are going to cause harm to City. So I
yeah,
mean, the overall
hear that.
first half, you guys are the better team, for sure about that.
Well, I thought we were playing out of your press really well. I don't think that you guys were pressing very aggressively for the entire first half, but when you guys did decide to do that, I think Foden dropping deep off the left hand side was working up really well for us. He was linking up with Rico Lewis, linking up with Nathan Ake, giving him an outlet option, and I think he was helping us get further up the pitch a bit. Where I'm a bit disappointed with Phil Foden, and I know a lot of people, rival fans, Manchester City fans included, are a bit disappointed with Phil Foden's performances. He wasn't getting on the ball in positions higher up the pitch, so he wasn't
Yeah, I agree.
able to offer that creative influence that we were looking for in the absence of a Kevin De Bruyne. So that's where I would want him to take more action in terms of the game, take a better grip on the game, and basically run that midfield creative wise. Kind of like how Arteta allows Erdegaard to. But since he was dropping deep, and I don't know, man, Pep has
I
been
mean,
playing
I
him,
don't
playing
know.
him. Well, I
I
know Pep
mean,
has been playing him in this weird
mhm.
winger, but inverted, like next step inverted winger. Like you have Mahrez, he's cutting in, right? Grealish off the right, off the left, he's cutting in on his right foot, right? But for Foden now, it's like he's labeled as a winger, but he's starting infield, right? Kind of like
In the central area, like
yeah, and it's a bit
mhm.
weird because we lose a lot of width in that way. Versus Jack Grealish's starting position is very much out on the touchline, and he
Yeah,
wants isolated 1v1 situations. Pep isn't using Phil Foden like that, and I think that was we don't have Roger in the team. I think Pep was trying to bolster up the midfield in terms of strength.
yeah,
Alvarez is basically doing the same thing off the right hand side, so it was kind of like you could say a midfield five
yeah,
versus
yeah.
two wingers in a front three. So it was a bit weird, and we don't usually play like that. So people are saying, "Oh, Pep overthought it, blah blah blah." But if he did it and then we won the game, you would hear, "Oh, Pep
Yeah,
masterclass, he
great
thought about it
masterclass.
perfectly."
You can't have it both.
So
You can't have it both ways. You
yeah,
can't have it both ways. But my thoughts on Foden, I mean, quality baller. I mean, I rate his technical ability, but I think it's time now for him to cement his starting spot at Man City. I mean,
and I
yeah,
thought this was the season for him to do it as
yeah,
well.
I think, but I mean, he's not having a poor season.
No,
He's not. He's having. I think he got a man of the match last week against Leipzig.
Yeah,
for you guys. He's been playing, he's been assisting, and he's been scoring here and there. But you see, for like a game like yesterday, like how as I say, I hate playing Man City because I like how me hate play Liverpool because Salah go score and going
yeah.
demolish us,
And if you know
or
if KDB
City
was
Kevin
here,
De
you know
Bruyne
where
I
I'm
got
the
if
fan. Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne I got demolish us somehow. So the fact that Kevin De Bruyne wasn't here, you say, all right, then you need somebody to step up to that, and role. I know Foden he's been in Man City for so many years, probably like 6 seasons now, and it's his time to step up. But he was mostly off the ball, he was mostly doing defensive work, and that's not his strength. His strength is to get on the ball, link up, make neat passes, and even sometimes dribble past people because he's so
Mm.
technically gifted. So, and the fact that he just had a poor game, he had a poor game, but overall quality. But I think it's time for him to step up and cement his spot because, you know, I don't think Bernard will be at it in the next 2 years. I just don't see it. Maybe.
Well, he did sign a contract
He-
extension. I think previously his contract was set to expire in 2025, and he signed
Okay.
a 2-year extension on
Oh,
top
sorry,
of
man,
that. But
there.
now that includes a release clause. So
Oh,
there is a potential that that 50
somebody
million
got
post
pay
release
fee.
clause might get activated. Obviously, it has to be at a club that he would be willing to leave us to go to. So it's not like, for example,
Probably Saudi.
Spurs could come in and say, all right, boom, 50 mil, but he could say, well, I don't want to go to Spurs, I'll stay at City. It's not like you pay the release clause, so now he's gone. And a lot of people have that misconception in their mind. But as of right now, we have him, and he looks very willing to stay. I didn't think he had a bad game per se. I thought he was probably our best of the three midfielders that we had.
Yeah,
But
really.
he was playing basically like the number six. I guess Pep was up. All right, so I said after the Wolves game in my review that we lacked attacking threat because of Rodri not being there. And I know that he is a number six and as a defensive midfielder, but he does a lot of work progressing the ball further up the pitch as well. And
Yeah.
when we do that recycling, Jack Grealish get the ball and then play it back and then it go over the next side and then Bernardo play it back into the midfield. It always passes back through Rodri and then he dictates where the ball goes next. He's also the tempo setter if he decides that, okay, boom, play a quick pass up the field now and then we start a quick little transition, then we can do something like that, or him can slow down the pace of the game. I think Pep was trying to go for that with Bernardo, but the issue is, I go walk through the midfield. Bernardo is in there because he's not predominantly a defensive player. He's
Yeah.
way more offensive minded than Roger is. So
And
I
Rodri.
wasn't really for Bernardo playing in that type of role, but I understand where Pep was coming from, and I don't think that was the issue with us not getting a result in the game either.
My, my,
Um,
my question is why Pep doesn't trust Phillips? Is because he hasn't performed? I don't know.
that's the
Because
million-dollar question right
he
there.
he,
So
he, he never
quickly on
plays good.
Calvin Phillips a little bit, right? So last season I was defending him, not because I thought he was a great player, but I don't think that he got a fair chance in the team.
Yeah.
So how Pep usually works the system is, he usually says that um it's in October, November where the team really reaches peak fitness and then we really start to kick on from there. So for me, you usually see Pep at the beginning of the season rotate a lot, play players in different positions. You might see Foden playing off the left, they might see him playing off the right, they might see him dropping at the midfield. And then same thing with other players. Bernardo might be playing midfield, he might be playing out on the wing, Alvarez might be playing in the midfield, he might play striker for one match. Like, you never know, right? So I think Calvin Phillips last season coming into the team, getting injured in preseason. Well, it wasn't in preseason to be fair. It was in August, but it was a friendly game against Barcelona, which I don't know why that happened in the middle of the season after it started. But he got injured in that game. He needed to do surgery and he was out until the World Cup. Didn't play at the World Cup. So after the World Cup, he's back in December with no football played basically. And the time for testing and trying out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting your minutes done, and we're already in a bad patch of form. You were like 8 points ahead of us at that point. So why would Pep take out our best defensive midfielder, the best defensive midfielder in the world, in my opinion, just to test out Calvin Phillips? It was very risky. We weren't having the best in terms of results. So I think Pep went with what worked and just kept going, and it was unfortunate for Phillips in that way. And then by the time he started getting games, bro, it's already too late. He might come in cold because you'll never get in over Rodri. It's very risky to start him over Rodri, especially in a tough period like that, and we're fighting for every game trying to get results. So it just became one of those seasons where it's like next season we'll see where you're upon. No, this season again he hasn't kicked on. I don't know if that's because of confidence or not, but for me, I was like, next season you will get your chance to prove yourself, and I will give him the time. I think he's gotten enough opportunities to show us something so far, and he hasn't, to be real. So I don't blame Pep for not playing him, especially in games like this that are very important. I know he started against Newcastle. He didn't really rip up any trees there. He came on for a couple minutes against Wolves. I thought he was doing
Okay.
decent again, better than he would normally play, but again, it wasn't anything close to Rodri. You understand? So yeah, that's basically the Calvin Phillips situation. I think his time is running out. People probably want to get somebody he can rely on more,
True.
and it's just one of them things they have to look
Yeah,
on
yeah,
him.
I think he'll be sold next transfer next summer. But
I say, yo, every transfer can't work out, you know. As much as we as Manchester City fans, me in particular, because I can't speak for everybody, I want to see this type of stuff work out. I want to say, you know what? Even though this never started off great, look at how he's playing now. Look at Jack Grealish. Everybody was writing him off £100 million flop. Next season, him was a very key part in us winning a treble. You understand? So that's the
true.
type of turnaround I wanted to see from Calvin Phillips. I'm just saying it doesn't look like that's going to happen based off right now. I think I've seen enough to where I can fairly say that it's not looking good. Before it was like I haven't seen enough. I get that what we did see wasn't great, but it's very, very much not enough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't think Pep trusts him because if Raji is just gone and he's still fusing like Bernardo, that says everything out, everything you need to know.
there
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
everything.
There you go. Um, but just to move on to that Kovacic decision, because I don't want to just completely wipe that away. For the first challenge, I get why Arsenal fans are upset, but this is how I look at it, right? You have some challenges that are undisputable red cards, right? For
Hmm.
example, say you have Jesus running down and transition, like 1v1 with Ederson basically, and then Ruben Diaz just comes in, swipe out the back of him feet, don't get the ball. You know, so that is exactly what he intended to do. Absolute red card. No referee can give him a yellow card for that. No City fan can argue that's not a red card, right? For that particular tackle, I can see them saying, okay, warn him with a yellow, don't give him a straight red. I understand people might be
Yeah,
upset with
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
Understand,
it's
understand. Fair
arguable,
enough,
is what I'm
fair
trying
enough,
to
fair
say,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
The second one for me is absolutely stupid. I went through like three different watch alongs from City fans, and everybody was saying, get him off the pitch right now. I was looking on Twitter, everybody was like, sub off Calvin Phillips right now, because this man will get himself sent off. I have absolutely no idea how him never get a second yellow card for that. Because if the yellow one was arguable, the second one was 100,000% a yellow card.
Red card. Yeah, he should have
Solid,
been
solid
sent
yellow
off.
card. People argue that it was probably a red. There's an argument for that as well, but I don't think it was intentional. Even though you mentioned a Curtis Jones challenge, that was not intentional, but I think it was more dangerous than
Yeah, it was
the
more there
second
because he
one.
high
And
on the ankle.
I think his first challenge was definitely more dangerous than the second one and Declan Rice as well. Because him genuinely could have injured Erdegaard. And I hate seeing this type of decisions, even though we benefit from it this time. Because, yo, one of them ref here are going to see the same thing happen to we, and then we are going to be the ones arguing. Just like with Rashford last season at Old Trafford, running over the ball and stopping a
Yeah,
country from getting
and
onto the
stopping
ball,
a
and
City
then
player.
Bruno Fernandez just kicked the ball off, and I'm like, oh, but Rashford didn't touch it, so it's still onside. No, absolute foolishness. And just like the one with Jata as well, where that wasn't really a first yellow card, but then the second one was actually a yellow card. And what really made me angry with Kovacic is that the two challenges happened within like 3 to 5 minutes of each other. Like, bro, relax, chill out. You just catch life a while ago. Like, relax, slow down the game, take a little step back. You're up on a yellow card now. Try get through to the second half. So
But you know what's funny is that that same referee sent off. I don't remember if you remember the game in 2021 when we played and Roger scored a
sent off
late winner.
Gabriel.
He sent off Gabriel for the second yellow on Jesus at the time, and then
Mm-mm. Nope,
la,
that's not what happened. That's not. Let me remind you what happened, right? He got the
mhm.
first yellow card by stopping the counter attack
Oh
with.
yeah,
Oh,
he
was
stopped
it
the
that one? No, no, no,
yeah,
no, no, no. It was a second. That was a second yellow for right.
yeah, it
You're
was
right.
a
You're right.
set
That was a
because
second yellow. The first one was him kicking up the penalty spot like a real waste of money.
yeah, because of that, and then
Yeah.
kick, and then he got sent off in so quick succession, and then
Yeah, but the
his
thing is
last
with that, they usually always give a yellow card for that because you're stopping a counter attack.
attack, yeah.
So yeah, that's where that was coming from.
And
But
then last season he gave Martinelli the yellow in like what, probably like 30 seconds or something. Two
yeah,
yellows in
I
30
don't remember
seconds.
that. But I feel like I was watching that game. I don't remember the situation,
And we're
but
playing
people were
against
talking about
Wolves.
that
We
a
played
lot.
against Wolves and he came on and he did. I think he made couple, two errors and he just gave him a yellow card for that and sent him off
No
without.
warning or nothing.
No one said, okay,
Bro, I'm
but
so
I
sick and
mean,
tired of these referees, bro. I can't lie to you. Like the
yeah, it's
best league in
horrible.
the world definitely need to have a very much
No
higher
man, they
standard of
corrupt, man. They
refereeing.
corrupt. It's
And
clear that this corruption because some of the errors that they're doing, bro. I mean, it don't take you for the stop the game and correct it. I
bro,
mean,
look on the not given goal from Liverpool versus Spurs. The first replay I see, I'm like, oh, this onside.
yeah,
Oh, they're gonna
they
give this
don't
as
even
off
draw the lines.
onside.
They didn't even draw the lines. They don't even draw the lines
You hear the
to
audio?
verify.
You
Yeah.
hear the audio?
No, I didn't.
Bro. So let's pause the Arsenal Manchester City chat for a minute, but they were basically saying that the guy in VAR there in England, he thought the on-field decision was onside.
Oh
But
yes, yes, yes.
he said check complete. It is onside, but them here check complete like and continue play Spurs get a free kick. And then the replay referee was like, the on-field decision was offside, right? And then he's like, it was offside? And he's like, yeah, it was offside. Are you happy with that? He's like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And then just continue make the game play on. Because apparently when the game is continued, them can't go back and reverse, say, okay, incorrect decision, change it, go back to kickoff. But why would the call go to VAR if the until decision was onside? That's my question. Whoever
Why don't just clarify everything before yes, I play? Why just clarify everything? Are you sure it's on? It's is it just ask a follow up question? Is it on or offside?
this is simply how him could have fixed it. Could say check complete, decision is blank.
Like, yeah,
Check complete decision is onside. Check complete decision is offside. So if him say check complete decision is onside because him think it did onside initially, then
yeah,
we don't have a problem. But him just say check complete and then boom, it just gone. And bro, for the type of money, I don't know how much them get paid, but that type of issue is not supposed to be happening. But let's get back to the game, right? And the last thing I want to say on that cover situation is I thought it was just a couple seasons ago where they implemented a rule that they weren't showing the checks on the state on the cameras in
and
the
the camera.
stadium or on the screens in the stadium, right?
Yeah,
So why am I see like I'm hearing the commentators saying, "Oh, it's up in the stadium now. Arsenal fans are going mad." I'm hearing it through the TV.
yeah. I'm hearing
Like
that. I heard
Arsenal
that as
fans are
well.
going crazy, like, "Oh, that's a red card!" The moment they start checking it, so that tells me they put it up in the stadium. Them never stop do that. Like, I thought they were saying it's
Yeah,
unfair because it influences the decision of the ref, even though it didn't in this particular situation. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Not now, but next week it might, and then we're having an argument again about the same thing. So I just want some consistency from these referees, but I don't know
true.
if we're ever going to get it. But the last thing I wanted to say on the first half before we get into the comments and hear what the rest of the community is saying, I don't think any of the teams in that first half created any clear cut opportunities. You could argue aside out of that Vardy Ake moment. As after that, nothing at all. It was just unstoppable force and immovable object. As soon
Yeah,
as we went
true.
up against your defense, your defenders defended it very well and then took possession of the ball, went upfield, went up against our defenders defended it very well, and then it was just back and forth, and then there was pretty much nothing into the
Nothing in
second
the
half. We
game.
were like, all right, so let's hope for a better second half, basically.
Hmm.
But before we get into how the second half went down, guys, three people here watching live. Big up to all three of you guys. I think we hit four as the max for this specific chat so far. I hope all you guys have hit the like button already. If not, this is the perfect opportunity to hit the like button. Show the channel some love. If you haven't subscribed and you're still watching, definitely hit the subscribe button as well. Help us get to 150. We're at what, 9 away from 150. So definitely help us out with that and also show some love over to the JA Dugout. Name is in the title. Just click the title, subscribe to them as well. Content will be coming soon. I have a video that I did with Reynolds over there as well, so definitely check that out. And I'll more than likely will be over there in the future as well. So stay tuned for more content from here and there. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I know there's a bunch of messages, but We're
Yeah,
not going through all of them because I know some of it is just communication between people in the chat, which no problem at all. Um, let me see. Where was that star that I put? Daisy says Haaland couldn't be bothered. What a bummer. Okay, so we'll talk about this later on.
later.
This is a part of the agenda to speak about, but not right now. So we'll put this on pause for just a minute. Um, let's see. Oh, big up to Alec Johnson as well, one of my regular viewers. Do appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here as usual. Um,
Big up, man.
let's see if there's anything else on the game. Oh yeah, I also watched this earlier. With Big Steve, he had a lot to say, and you know what? This isn't something I was planning on speaking about, but yo, Arsenal fans are crazy, bro. Aside from them celebrating like them win the Champions League after them beat we, and you know what's also funny? Them always do this. Oh, City is a small club. By them success, we don't care about City. But you know, City are the best team in the world. Like where you go and you don't care about the best team in the world. And even aside from that, how are you going to say you don't care about City, but then you win 1-0 by like what 4 minutes away from stoppage time goal in a poor game by both team standards, and you celebrate wildly like you win the Champions League against a small team where you don't care about? Like it's like you talk about
You
a
can
boat
have, yeah, but them
you
double
can't have
standard.
both of it. You can't.
Double standard.
So hey, it's just one of those things. But he was saying a lot of stuff about abuse him and other City fans were getting. They're throwing bottles of prime at him, spitting at him, and them type of something. There, a guy got
Oh,
punched in the back of the head. Like, bro, I don't hear a lot of this stuff from coming out of the Manchester City fan base. So that makes me very proud that our fans aren't behaving like that. But sometimes football fans in general, not just Arsenal fans, like them take it way too
bro,
deep, bro.
take it
Like
way
you win a
beyond
match,
football. I mean, it's just a
just
football
win a
game.
yeah, bro.
You
Like
win a
just win a
game,
match.
go home,
And I know
enjoy, drink.
Big Steve is going to give them the banter like, oh yeah, go and celebrate like when you win a treble. You know, we have a treble, you have 3 points, so do your thing. But bro, you're not have to get physical for that type of stuff. It's unnecessary and completely uncalled for. But I'm glad that he definitely spoke about it and let it out into the atmosphere that people know that this type of stuff is going on because yeah, I know every fan base have terrible people like that, but it's just
Yeah,
weird,
that was
man.
unacceptable. That's horrible. I mean,
Um, Uh, I also heard about this saying Arsenal got the goal framed, the Martinelli goal. So much for not caring about little old City, right? Yo, like we're here framing Rodgers' goal against Inter Milan, and them are frame what the first time you beat within 8 years.
with years,
Hey, we're not the
it's
same.
been rough, bro. It's been
And
rough.
you could say this does have a point. Is his name is Win after all? So I'm sure him being on the sideline there, maybe he was on the bench in his own particular seat. Maybe he was giving them like that moral support from the sideline. You never know. You never
Man,
know.
them look on the dog and say we gotta win.
Hey,
Yeah.
Alec Johnson says Brentford beats City more than Arsenal, and we want a treble. Uncomfortable conversations, Alec. But hey, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. MCFR TV says clinical might be doing a panel show soon. Would you be interested in coming on? We'll DM you when I plan it more. 100%, bro. You already have my Twitter, so just DM me whenever with the details. I'll let you know if I'm available. But I'm always willing to do some work with city content creators, and we're good. So definitely let me know as soon as you plan that out, and if possible, I'd like to get you here on this channel as well, so we can have a chat. Um, Will be a few other guests on there too. No problem at all. No problem. Um, Alec Johnson here saying City will spend in the next transfer window. I'm not sure if that's very likely. I know our board isn't particularly for that because they say that if we're doing business in January, that means something has definitely gone wrong. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's already decided, but let's see how that goes because you might be onto something there. Especially if we have departures, we might do something like a one out, one in. But Manchester is blue here saying don't see City spending in January, which is basically in line with what I was saying. So,
I
like
don't
I
see it
said,
either.
let's see what happens. I don't think we'll do something like get Phillips out in January and then try struggle to find somebody then, especially since teams aren't really teams don't usually sell great players in the January window because they're halfway through the season. If you're talking about like a Champions League level team, they're looking at the second half of the Champions League campaign. So you're not letting go one of your preferred players in that timeline, that type of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to see what goes
Business
on
end,
there.
I don't think you're gonna let go. You don't let go play when you have the business end of the season.
Unless you're very confident that you have others in the squad who can step
That's
up
good enough. Now you
immediately.
really,
So it's we have to do some really good scouting and searching and planning to actually pull off something like that. And both teams be acceptable with it. Or you're paying a lot of money. Manchester is Blue saying Kovacic was a very lucky guy. Very, very lucky, and he didn't even treat his luck well. Because if he was lucky with the first one not being a red, and then very, very lucky with the second one not getting sent off right there. So I don't know, man. He needs to chill out. Personally, I would like, especially like how Rodri is back now. I would probably bench him for the next game and go with Rodri and Nunez because I would love to see how that partnership looks. I already saw how Rodri and Kovacic looked, and I like that partnership. But right now, I think Kovacic needs to chill out, and he isn't on the best vein of form anyway. So yeah, I would say that's the best decision for him. MCFR TV says his first yellow is debatable. His second one is 100% a yellow. And I know that, Yuta, I know that me saying that it should have been a sending off doesn't really do anything for you guys because it's already passed. But at the end of the day, I pride myself on being very honest.
yeah,
So
true.
yeah, if that was if
Yeah.
that happened to me, bro, I would have been vexed. You'd hear me up on the channel or rant. And MCFR here echoing those thoughts would be fuming if it went against us. And rightfully so. Um MCFR also says he gave him a 2 out of 10 rating for the game. Ah, rough.
Damn.
Alec
Yes.
Johnson echoing the thoughts again. Kovacic should have seen red. And if you're asking about him, tell the people who you support. I told him already at the start, but he wasn't
I
here.
support. Come on, you Gunners, bro. Come
Hey,
on, you
wish
Gunners.
he supported a better team, but it already went bad for him, so he has to stick it out.
Come on, you
Um,
Gunners.
Alec Johnson says Michael Oliver, awful ref to be fair. They are all dire. And now they're talking about City are have him on the payroll, so he shouldn't referee City games. Bro, none of us want Michael Oliver to referee our games. Take him, take Anthony Taylor to take Darren England, take
Mhm.
Paul Tierney, take Craig Parson,
Yeah,
like
let's take the
take the
whole of
whole
them.
of them,
Take
bro.
the
Like
whole every one of them.
them. If them a ref like that after being on our payroll, I wouldn't even want
I've
him
got
if
so
if
many years
them
of
a driving
experience.
neutral.
So many years of experience.
It's like them get worse, bro. Cause I don't know.
Bro, it's like the man them, they're just
I don't know,
regressing.
bro.
Like,
It's not getting
I mean,
any.
like you're making more horrible decisions than you did 10 years ago. No, like
This
with
this comment
technology,
sums it
they're
up
getting
right
worse
here.
in technology.
This comments. Imagine, right? So imagine you have a job and you keep getting to work late, and your supervisor is not happy, and they say, "All right, here is one of the company cars. Take it home and use it to get to work or help you get into work because you're walking before or you're taking the bus or whatever and it's not working out. So here's a car and you start coming to work even later. What's the point?
Point,
It's
point.
supposed to be helping you and it's just getting worse. So
Worse.
something needs to be fixed up, man. He also says Aston Villa should have also had a pen at the weekend. I didn't see that, so I can't really say
I
much.
never saw that much either.
Alec Johnson says VR should only be used for goal line decisions. Very interesting. But they don't they I'm not sure if it's just the
I
Champions League
mean,
that uses it, but them have great offside technology, right? That you actually have a line there and you can see a hologram of both players to see where it's coming from. And
yes, yes.
I don't think they make terrible decisions with that. I thought every decision I've seen them use that for has been perfect. And them love showing it off. Bro, the Premier League need to invest in something like that and help out with these type of decisions. But I don't think they even use VAR for goal line decisions because they have the goal line
Yeah,
technology
they
with the
go on
watches,
technology already.
even though it fails as well because Aston Villa benefited from that with I think
So,
Sheffield United going down. But I don't know, man. We can make up all the excuses that we want, but they need to do better regardless. Big up to Jordy in the chat, usually coming in showing his support. Hope you like hitting the like button, but thank you for being here, and I do hope to see you here more often as well. I'm not sure if you were here when we were doing any of the chats for the Newcastle game, but hey, regardless, thank you for your support, man. Um, Newcastle has been amazing lately. Definitely turning around their form. I thought they started the season well with that first game, but it's not been good since then. But yeah, I think they're doing good. Alec Johnson says, Oil Brothers, don't know how it go. Link up for the next Oil Classico,
New
you
Oil
know?
Classico.
um,
Classico.
yeah, saying more incidents will happen as well. Unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. Um, MCFR TV says Ake moment in terms of the chances. So the Ake moment and then agrees that there was nothing left. But yeah, um, couldn't think of anything worse to watch if you were a neutral. I saw somebody say that if they were watching the game as a neutral, they would just switch it off. And I can't even complain. I only was watching because it was my team and I know anything can happen. This is a big six fixture. But in terms of enjoyment,
It wasn't that. It
not
wasn't.
it was not
Wasn't
our
that.
best game. It was not your best game. It's just a poor game in terms of quality. Jordy
When it's a
says,
poor game in terms of quality, I think both teams kind of cancel each other out.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't just entertaining. I mean, it was both teams defensives. Both defenses
You
cancel each
could
other.
call it a defensive masterclass
Most of
from
the
both
by both
teams, right?
teams. So it just.
And to be fair, completely forgot the point I made that make a while ago. So you may have short term memory loss sometimes. So just slow that one there. Jordy in the chat says, I think you guys need to give excuse to Ake. He is always good in every match, but sometimes mistakes happen. We will talk about Nathan Ake and the goal. We haven't gone into the second half as yet. That will be as soon as we get through all the rest of these comments. But you're definitely right. I do agree with what you're saying here. We have to look at that Ake situation in isolation, but we'll get to that. Um, MCFR, actually up to 7 people now. Big up to all the 7 viewers here. Please continue to hit the like button as well. And I know all 7 of you guys did not subscribe to the JA Dugout. I'm sure. So, link in the title right there. As soon as I subscribe, come right back over here because we're not done talking. We're about to get into the second half. And I'll probably do a couple more comments and then start, and then the rest of the comments can get done before we close off. But yeah, MCFR here with a big message. Listen to the man he's speaking. Facts right here.
Smash
Um,
those likes.
Alec Johnson says these decisions could cost clubs relegation or promotion or title or European finish.
Yeah,
It's
everything.
it's just poor quality. Yeah, yo, MCFR is dropping all the facts. I didn't even see this one. Subscribe to the guest JA Dugout. Like I said, the link is in the title. Again, yeah, man. Big up MCFR, man. Doing the Lord's work. Alec Johnson says, anyone who calls Haaland needs to lay off the FIFA or drugs. You don't anger a beast. We'll speak about Haaland later. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, Big up to Erratic Kid. You're supposed to know, you know who this is, but I'm not sure if you know who this is, if you get what I say.
I
But
mean,
big
me
up to
hear,
you. Big up to
I
you,
think I
man.
have an idea, but I don't know who it is, but I think
Come
I
on,
have an
boy Neil, man.
Neil,
I sure
pick
him
up
support.
yourself, bro. Pick up yourself,
MCFR
my
TV
G.
says, I mean, he does deserve to be constructively criticized, Alec, after his recent dreadful performances. Like I said, we'll speak soon. We'll speak soon. And definitely get all your opinions in the chat in terms of all of these topics as soon as we get on there. MCFR says, did you see Arsenal Twitter account like their City Extra made up a lie that City fans are pushing at this? Yeah, I saw something about that as well, and I saw that news came out that it was a lie. Like, I don't know. I think, hey, if I speak, I'm in big
Never
trouble. So
said.
I prefer not to speak. I prefer not to speak. Um, 8 years of losing is crazy. Hey, tell that to him. Tell that to him. But hey, they broke the streak now, so we can leave them alone in terms of that. Phil Foden says, big up to you. And let's pause right there. Phil Foden is also one of my first or earlier viewers to the channel, supporting from long time. So big respect to Phil Foden in the chat. But let's pause right there and we'll get into the second half, right? And we'll kick it off this time. I thought at the start of the second half, Arsenal was very patient. He didn't come out aggressive. And to be honest, in terms of the whole construct of the match, I thought you guys were a lot more patient than I thought. I thought you guys would have tried to do more what you did last year at the Emirates in terms of try to really take the game to us and try to overload us with a barrage of consecutive attacks. But Arteta chose the more calm, collected approach, obviously compared to how you played last season and now. That could be said for the grand scheme of the season so far. But in this particular game, it seemed like you guys were very selective of the attacks that you guys wanted to go in on. I thought Gabriel Jesus was looking really good. He was cooking like he had a point to prove and he was looking very dangerous. He was in a lot of trouble to Ake and Guvardial down that side. Although I think both of them handled him very well in terms of him turning those dangerous attacks into actual output or big chances created. So I think in the second half the game was still looking even with both teams defending well, and that's really where it settled in to how boring the game was. Like that 60 minute mark before Pep made the subs, I was like, oh my god, get me through this game. I'll take a point right now. Like just I don't want us to spend another 30 minutes of my time watching this, and it's of this quality in terms of excitement. So that was that. I was a bit excited when Rico Lewis went on that run. I'm not sure who it was who fouled him, but
It was
for me,
Martinelli.
it looked like they were going to give it as advantage, and he got back up, and then they blew the whistle and he put the ball into the back of the net. I'm like, bro, you just sucked the whole life out of that attack just now. I would love to see if they had decided, you know what, let it go on, and then we look back on the review and see if it was a foul, they actually do the whistle and all of that. But yeah, that was the one time we put the ball into the back of the net and it couldn't count. So you can just imagine for somebody struggling to see some sort of excitement in the game and then that to happen and it's like, oh, but we know it's not going to count though, so just pull it back.
Yeah.
And we took the free kick and did absolutely nothing with it. But yeah, I was getting up off my seat a bit when Pep made that triple substitution because you don't really see that very often from Pep. He usually likes to go if he ever makes any subs because sometimes he goes whole games without making
No
two
subs.
substitutions. But if he does, then he usually might start off with one. If you see a double change, that's like okay, Pep making a double change here. But three subs is like I don't even know what to say. It's a rare occurrence. So you see that and you're like, okay, Pep looks like he wants to go for this game now. Like I was thinking I would take a point. Pep might be setting up for a point as well, but looking at a triple substitution and who he brought on as well, I was thinking maybe not. So he brought on Stones, who hasn't played since the Super Cup, I believe,
General
or maybe the
Stones.
Community Shield. Like he hasn't played a lot of minutes this season due to injury, and he's finally coming back. That's why we didn't expect to see him start the game, but seeing him come off the bench was good, and I was hoping that he could use his quality and help us in that midfield area, gaining more control, and from there go on to making more successful attacks against you guys. We also brought on was it Jack Grealish that we brought on? I know we brought on Jeremy Doku and him,
Nunes.
huh? Nunez, yeah, yeah,
Nunes.
yeah. We brought on Nunez for Kovacic, which was a sub I wanted to see at halftime. Um, Unfortunately, Pep decided to wait, but I think Kovacic came out into the second half a lot more chilled. Pep definitely gave him a talking to, and still didn't really offer us anything. I know that he isn't known for his creative
It's just about
ability
great
and
ball carrier and dribbler.
exactly, and he, I think defensively he does really good work
He's a,
as
he,
well,
he
making
works hard. He works hard.
interceptions and stuff like that. Very very hard working player. But I think Nunes is a very similar player in terms of Kovacic, and except I think Nunes is slightly better going forward. So you can see that by him coming in and within him second game for the club, him already notch an assist. Kovacic still looking for his first goal contribution for the club, but that being said, I thought Nunes coming in was a good sub for us to be a bit more adventurous going further up the pitch. And obviously, Jeremy Doku, a very exciting player, very electric, very much like the profile of player that you were saying that you worry about playing against Manchester City with. And
Yeah.
like I said in the preview, I was speaking with Crew and I told him that um, one of the matchups I'm looking forward to a lot is Doku versus Zinchenko, and I need to see that matchup happen. Now, that matchup happened on two occasions, and on the first occasion, I was very disappointed because Zinchenko, who is not known for his great defensive ability, took the ball away from him quite easily and then went up the other end of the pitch. So I thought Doku came in a bit slow for my liking, but in the second encounter, he got the better of him, went down the line and put a ball in that was not very dangerous, but it was a good sign of things to come. And Arteta immediately made the right choice in terms of subbing him off for Tomiyasu. I was like, man, you could have just let the man finish out the match. Right? Bring on. I wanted Doku and Grealish to start. I was thinking this is a good opportunity for both of the wingers to one of them to be more risk adverse and kind of slow down the tempo of the game, be more selective in terms of opportunities. But then Doku on the next side where we go down to give the ball to him and then we actually start putting some pressure on Arsenal. And throughout the whole course of the game, we definitely lacked that because we didn't really put much or enough pressure on you guys throughout the game until we tried this triple substitution. But the last thing I wanted to speak on is the actual goal that happened. I think Martinelli came on at second half, and later it came out that Trossard was
He
having a
was
slight,
injured after 30 minutes.
yeah, and he had to withdraw from the Belgian national team as well. So that's the situation there. But I think you would also agree that Martinelli came on sooner than we thought, but that gave him a bit more time in terms of if you look at Doku in contrast, Doku didn't have as much time on the pitch. So maybe if he was playing a little bit longer, he would have gotten to build into a better rhythm. I think Martinelli going up against Kyle Walker was not really getting any change out of him, but he's one of those players who gives it that chaos, kind of like Doku, kind of like Saka where you just let them keep doing their thing and eventually something is going to come off. And that's exactly what happened for his goal. Havertz getting the assist didn't really do much for that because just a little layoff 5 yards and Martinelli very decisive in terms of hitting that first time. Unfortunately, that it hit Nathan Ake. I thought Ederson would have been
He
in
would
a
have
good
saved
position
it.
to cover it. Yeah, but him going to that side and then it hitting Ake and then deflecting into the goal, there's nothing Ederson could do about that. And I don't think there's anything Ake could have done about that either. Martinelli hit it with a lot of pace, so he couldn't move or get out of the way. And even if he had dodged it, say he dodged it or ducked and it scored, then he would have been getting slated for that. So him trying to get into the way of it or be in that position to block it,
Yeah.
you could also look at that and saying it's just a whole unfortunate situation. And that's why I'm not looking at this goal or the fact that we lost the game in that way as a massive negative. I'm looking at it as just an isolated, unfortunate situation. And that's why it's a bit surprising to me that Arsenal fans are celebrating it as much as they have. Like, if I was an Arsenal fan trying to put myself in your guys' shoes, I would be very happy with the win, of course. And I think the win in itself should be celebrated. But how the win carried out, it wasn't like you guys smashed. I hear people talking about people got humbled and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think that was a humbling though. Like, if it was the other way around and we scored that goal, I wouldn't. And you guys were say last season, 15 wins out of 17 games and stuff like that, and we were the one to beat you like that to end the win streak or unbeaten streak. I wouldn't say Arsenal finally got humbled this season. I would say, yo, we got lucky and scored, but at least you lose now. That's how I'd be looking at it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
before people just going over the top a little bit. I get it because we're basically the playground bullies to you guys. And looking back at it now, I was very, very confident. I don't blame the fact that I was confident going into the game, but I was saying we're going to our second home stadium, Emirates, because regular 3 point collectors in that stadium. But yeah, you guys did what you needed to do and made me swallow my words in that particular case. So I have to give you guys the respect and credit for that. And I think the game was a draw game. I think 1 point would have been fair for each team. But in terms of there being a winner,
Yeah.
say that chance doesn't happen, you could say that City could be deserved winners because of the Ake chance, but that would be a bit shameless if you ask me. In terms of the whole grand scheme of the game, you guys were more threatening than us. So if there was supposed to be a winner in that regard, I think you guys were deserved winners, and I'm a very firm believer of you make your own luck. Shout out to Hugh from City Extra. He's the one I heard saying this, but I definitely agreed with him 100%. I do believe that you make your own luck, and that's exactly what happened for Martinelli in that situation. Because another player there probably would not have shot it, probably tried to walk the ball into the back of the goal, and then it would have just ended up being a stinky
Yeah,
nil.
yeah, yeah. You're orchestrator your own look, really.
But even after that chance, we still didn't create anything. You guys completely shut down anything else that we wanted to create. But go ahead and give me your thoughts on the second half. And then
Second,
after that, there are some key matchups that I was speaking about before the game that I would love to get into now and see how those matchups went out. Obviously, Doku versus Zinchenko was one of them, but we already spoke about that because there wasn't really much to speak about. But give me a second half thoughts.
so my second thoughts quickly is that I think Arteta managed the second half well.
Hmm.
I mean, as I said, we haven't beaten you guys since 2015. Last time I saw beating guys, bro, I was watching probably like who was in goal at the time. I don't remember, but Yaya Torre was playing, bro.
Yeah,
You know, Giroud and Walcott were playing, bro. So we were in high school, so it's so many years ago, bro. So the fact that and true we've been so poor, and then we get so good now to beat City, bro. I mean, City Arsenal fans are shameless, and because we're starving, we don't have a major title in how many years.
hmm,
So we have like FA Cups, but I'm talking like a league title and so forth. And the fact that we lost out to you guys last year was, painful, very very painful. But in terms of the second half, if anybody was going to score, I mean, City did not up their level as they normally would have in the second half, which normally
yeah,
happens. Because if you remember, I remember the game last year when we were playing the EFL Cup, and you
yeah, yeah.
guys,
You also know who this is. Just letting you know.
yeah, yeah. I also remember the game in the EFL Cup
Hmm.
where Ake scored the winner.
Yeah, the
And
1-0
this
last
first
season.
year 1-0, and the first half was cage, in the second half City up the game, and you guys got the goal. So now in this game, I mean, Martinelli, game changer. Really, I mean, he provide. I mean, not like saying that he got anything out of Walker, but he added some intensity, he added some
Mm, mm.
pace, he added some agility and some spice to that left wing, in which we needed because everything was just going through Jesus, and Jesus was being monitored greatly by Ake and Vardial interchangeably. Even though he was cooking still, but Jesus thing, but he might go cook you, but he not gonna score. I mean, he not gonna score, so he probably beat you because I remember.
Exactly.
I mean, so he will. I remember him beat Foden in the box, and then nothing never happened out of that. But in terms of the second half, I mean, it was going towards a draw game. I thought it was, but I actually thought we were going to lose because I'm saying the longer we prolong with City, but I remember, you guys are the best player in the world. You guys hold on. You just need one chance, and that's over. One chance and another bag it, and it's just over from there. So I thought that we were going to lose, but then I realized 80 minutes, okay, no goals, and then the substitutions were good in terms of, you know, in responding to you guys' substitution because we brought on Party. We took off Georgina, who had a great game, but he got tired. And so Party get adding that strength even though he was being out. It was basically to counteract Stones.
Yeah.
He added more to counteract Stones, and then he added Tamiyasu for counteract. Um, um, Doku was going to wreak havoc on Zinchenko if he ever stayed on any longer.
And just just another thing with that party move as well, why I thought that was very, very good from Arteta. Keep in mind, I'm not saying this was an Arteta masterclass, because just like I was saying with Pep, if that game had went on to be a 0-0 or that Ake goal had gone in and it was just a 1-0, people would be saying, "Oh, Arteta lost again." The people who dislike Arteta,
Yeah,
some of them still
they'd be out. They would be out.
no, some of them still are saying like realistically, it wasn't like a massive outclassing of Pep or tactical masterclass from him, but they give him the credit that you guys won the game. But what I like about him putting in part in that situation, us making that triple change, clearly gave the indication that we were going for it. Us putting on Doku clearly said that we wanted to move into more transition or at least get the ball to him quickly for him to work his magic and do his thing, right? Now, bringing in Partey for Jorginho, you don't really want Jorginho as that man. He's not really great in terms of heavy transition games in the first place. But having played the majority of the game, he's probably getting to that point of being a bit leggy. You bring in Partey, who can probably close out that last 30 minutes of the game, still next to Declan Rice. And it does bolster your midfield up a lot defensively, and you don't lose a lot going forward as well with Partey coming in. So I thought that was
Yeah,
a very good move and a good time for him to bring in Partey into the team as well.
yeah, I totally agree with you. And then as a result, as a result of that, Odegaard had a poor game. To be honest, it was lost
Mm.
really. He had a
I've been
poor
on my
game.
fantasy.
He had a poor game, and but when Partey came on, he started to see him. I was like, bro, where were you all game? Where were you all game? But I mean, as I said,
Mhm.
the goal. I mean, they make your own luck. They make your own luck, and it just happen. And you know, and we won. But as we say, Arsenal fans are shameless. So they're going to celebrate it. They're going to frame it. They're going to say everything. But we're in October, bro. We're just 8 games.
That is it.
Relax, relax, bro.
I don't think people realize, 8 games
If I beat you
past.
like this last year, then I have all troll everything you want
Because
to do.
when we first, because remember our first game last season at the Emirates was supposed to be around this time of the season, but it got
Yeah,
postponed.
because I
So it
World Cup
actually exactly. So it actually happened in what?
in February.
February? No,
In February.
March time. No, no, lie. It was February after
February.
January. Yeah. So it happened in February, right? And if at that point it would have been upwards of 20 games or around 20 games played at that point. So it would have been a massive statement
Same.
win.
If we had
And
one then, if we had one then,
we knew from a long time when you match up that 8 point ahead of us, we knew we had to beat you guys at home and at the Emirates to close that down to 2 points and then hope that you drop points elsewhere. Looking at that Newcastle away game, looking at that Anfield away game and saying, you know what? We're a bit confident that you're not going to win all of these games. You're at least getting a draw somewhere in there, right? So that's what we were looking at. So I completely agree with you there. But 8 games played so far, 10 games is more than what we played already.
yeah,
And every team still has to play 10 games 3 times before the season done,
done.
before we get to the 38 game point. So all of this now, people saying, oh,
Bro,
get
all of this
this
will be
guy out of the
all of this will be
team.
forgotten by the time we play
People
you guys
saying
next
sack
year.
Pep and all this stuff, bro.
Bro,
It's
who said sack Pep?
way
Some
too.
crazy
I
kid.
was watching Big
I'm on
Steve's
some
video, like I
trolls,
told
man.
you earlier. You know who Big Steve is, right?
Yeah, I know Big Steve, man.
Was watching his video earlier because he dropped early this morning, the time zone difference and all of that. I was watching it on the replay, and he was saying that somebody messaged him, apparently a city fan from Turkey, and this is a content creator as well. They messaged him and said, we need to sack Pep and get Luis Enrique in. And him just
Luis
block him.
Enrique,
I mean, not blame him, but I probably block him to, like, I'm
Luis
gonna have time
Enrique
to
just
deal
get
with
him
this.
ass
Just
kicked by PSG
just
like
get this
last
off
week.
of the screen. By Newcastle,
By
you mean,
Newcastle last week, just get his ass whooped by Longstaff, bro. Man, come on, man.
bro.
He does win a chair, bro. Like when he just do,
Big up to the United stand as well. I mean, the
do,
Newcastle stand. Newcastle
so,
United is what I was trying to say, but big up to you for being here.
bro,
But
I mean,
yeah, I think
like I
people are
said,
getting a bit reactionary right now.
the
It's
only
just
thing,
8 games in. People
the
are even
only thing
saying we had a bad start to the season, bro. We're 2 points off the top of the table.
Yeah, so I mean,
What?
the only thing that I'm saying that I take as a positive from this game is that we finally get the elephant off our backs. So we're supposed to be confident that we can play. It's a confidence booster, you know? That we're supposed to can use this and build a run of games, like a run of
Yeah,
wins, off the city momentum. Not saying we're going to win the league or anything, but
yeah.
if we use this and say, okay, we finally beat City in the league, we can now go
Propel forward.
ahead. I go forward now. Let's beat Chelsea. Let's perform in the Champions League. I have no doubt we're beating Chelsea, by the way, because they're trash. But, you know,
Mm.
you
We
know,
can agree on that. We can agree on that.
Chelsea, we're going to beat them, but we're going
Man United too.
to. Oh,
Man
of course.
United too.
United, that's
Ah,
not
my
fair.
brother, my brother, my brother.
Yeah,
You,
they're
you,
trash.
you,
We
you know,
already
you
beat
know.
them up already. So that's your turn.
Yeah,
And,
man. No, no.
only
Our turn in 2 weeks time, so
2 weeks.
we're gonna match things.
So,
That's
I
what
mean,
that. I'm not gonna say the home stadium thing again, but yeah, we're gonna match things there.
so
Um,
that's just I just want us to go on around our games where we just win and just keep it leveled. But other than that,
you
it was a
know,
good game,
so you bother. Yeah, but
Fear
two
got
things I want to say with that before you move on from your point. Two things in regards to that momentum. This international break came for you at a poor time. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
love
ask
to
you.
just have a match 3 days later after that win and just, especially at the Emirates, where you just go and beat all
Yeah,
another team and in a Champions League game, you just go beat another team again and
well, to be
keep the
honest,
momentum going?
because my squad is injured out, I have no problem with it.
Mm.
Because most
I
of the
was just
guys,
speaking in regards to the momentum, but
yeah,
I hear that. I hear that.
to the moment, yeah, in terms of made of, yeah, because without dip on that high, I was gone. But right now, bro, we're struggling, man. We have too many men out injured, bro. Too many men out injured. But
But
yeah, bro.
in regards to the second point, I think this will also help you guys in terms of coming to the Etihad later down the season
Oh, you know,
because
that's yeah, bro.
it's a different, that's a
Yo, that's
completely different game, you know,
that's completely
because
different ball
Etihad
game,
is
bro.
a fortress. But
Bro,
that, on top of
we
the
take
fact
baby
that you
steps.
don't beat us at all, even at home,
Yeah, we
you
take
going to
baby
the
steps.
Etihad is basically just like, all right, I'm here to give you
Bro,
guys the three
you're
points,
asking us
and
to win
we
the
can just
Champions
go
League
back
or
home.
something.
Like that is
Yeah,
basically you guys coming to the Etihad over the last couple of seasons, right? But in terms of no, the fact that you have beaten us, it will be a bit of a step for you guys in terms of confidence because you'll be looking at it and saying, you know what? At least we beat them at home so we can try to get a draw now or
bro,
try to stink it out and get another 1-0 win or
I don't
something of the sort.
I
So
don't even remember Liverpool beating you guys at Etihad. To be honest, I don't remember that.
they have,
But,
but it's been a while as well. It's been quite a
but I
while.
think all that I remember the guys beating was in the Champions League
Yeah.
quarterfinals. But
Home and
I don't
away,
see
yeah.
them beating the league at
Particular.
home. I rarely. They normally get beat down, bro. So we if we go there and bro, I don't
You know
see.
what I'll also say as well because
I think I draw.
I personally haven't seen any City fan content creator say this, but I've researched this and fact checked it myself. If any of you guys don't believe me, do your research and fact check it yourself as well. But I went back as far as the 11-12 season when we won our first Premier League title in what 44 years, our first league title in 44 years. Um, we have so if we lose to our closest challengers in the league, it never happens twice, right? I'm gonna break that down a bit more. So, say Arsenal, we play Arsenal home and away. If I may not even use Arsenal, let's use United because they're the ones we beat the league in that season, right?
Yeah,
So if they had beaten us at their ground, when they come back, they're not winning.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
it's going to be two draw. Like it's never been a situation where we lost both of the games or we lost one and then draw the other one. So
yeah,
by the end of the season, in whatever title race we've been in, whether it been 11-12 or 13-14, the Centurion season in 17-18, the year after that 18-19, Ruben Diaz first season 2021, and any of the ones since then, whoever will come up against, they have never gotten the better of us in terms of the two-legged tie in the Premier League. So
yeah.
if you look at if
I
you
know
look
what
at
I know what we're doing the Dogova City, bro. Take
that's
it
the
baby
thing. So,
steps,
and
bro.
I'm not. I don't know if Pep knows that record that we have, but that tells me massive mentality, especially the fact that we're talking about our closest challengers. So
Yeah,
we don't
I'm
win at Anfield. So say if we draw at Anfield, we're not losing to them at
at
the
home.
Etihad, right? And then we know that if they beat us at Anfield and we lose the match, we know say a win, we are win the next match at the Etihad because that last season I think where we had two draws with them the last time. I think
Yeah,
it was the season before last. We had two all draws with them at Anfield and at the Etihad. Those type of things give me a bit of confidence because I'm looking at that and saying, you know what? Now I know for a fact Pep is going to double down on preparations for that next Arsenal game. Probably was going to do it anyway, but no, he's definitely coming back for his 3 points out of that fixture. And if I do
agree.
think Liverpool will have a big say in the title race as well. My
I
challenge to
agree.
Arsenal has always been keep up the pace with Liverpool for the majority of the season. When you get to the business end, then one of you guys supposed to be starting to take off. But from what I was expecting from Liverpool this season, if they were to keep up to that, which they have been, and you guys were like sixth right now or seventh, that tells me, say, you know what, we're not ready, probably just a 1 half season want to do good and now want to still good but not levels like win Premier League levels. And that's the levels that I think Liverpool are fighting to be at again this season. So keep
Mm,
pace with Liverpool until it get to that business end, and then you definitely will be looking at a three horse title race in my opinion.
yeah, agreed.
All right. Now we could get into the comments and then we can talk about
The matchup.
yeah, those particular matchups. No way. All right, like, yeah, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yeah, United Spurs of America dropped into the chat earlier. Again, big up to you, my bro. He has his
Spurs.
channel centered around Spurs and very cool guy. Been on the channel before. Have
Big up,
had a
man.
great chat with him, and he always shows his support when he can, dropping in whenever. I try to do the same on his channel. But if any of you guys aren't familiar with him, he's open to accepting any football fans. Of course, you need to be respectful, but follow his channel, United Spurs of America. Give him a sub and tell him say clinical senior. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that. But yeah, man, big up to Jacob all the time. Um, let's see what else here. Alex Johnson says Guardiola is like Professor Frankenstein. He's rebuilding another monster, and we've seen this every season. Pep change up him tactics. He does his little overthinking thing at the beginning of the season where he's like,
I'm going at the
"This
lab.
worked last year, but I don't want them to study it and figure me out. So let me change it to something else before them catch on to what I was doing last year." So I think it's one of those things, and Pep will make the adjustments throughout the season. Maybe we go back to how we were playing last season. Maybe he goes to something completely new after this. Maybe he fixes this current system and makes it work. But if there's anybody who I'm trusting to get that job done, it's definitely Pep Guardiola. Um, Alec also says if Arsenal would have lost, the Giddy fans would have wanted Arteta out 100%. And there are super fans who still want him out even after the win because, on the grand scheme of things, they're not convinced on him. But yeah, that's their personal opinion. So of course, Alec Johnson also says Haaland is still top goal scorer and some want him out. Even Pep, these clowns are probably rivals. If I speak, I prefer not to speak. I really prefer not to speak. I don't know who said Longstaff, but yeah, why for the Longstaff still? And Alec Johnson here again says Liverpool were City's toughest challenger and still could not stop City. Say it louder for the people in the back. Put some exclamation marks on the back of this. Honestly, that Liverpool team scared me, and I'm still, even after losing, I'm still not, with all due respect, still not scared of Arsenal. So, yeah, I do get where Alec Johnson is coming from with this. And he also says Pep Guardiola has beat Ferguson for the most UCL wins. I think that is for a Premier League manager. With the last win over Leipzig, he just edged him. I think he's now on 103. Um, Sir Alex Ferguson is on 102. So big up to Pep Guardiola, still breaking records. And obviously, there will be more to come throughout the rest of this season as well. That's all the comments. Please, guys, I'm gonna check let me check how much likes you have on the video so far. We also gone up 2 subscribers. Big up to everybody who
Big
subscribed
up,
during this
man.
stream. Thank you for joining the community, and I hope to see you guys on future conversations as well. But in regards to this video, we hit 10 likes. All right, cool, cool. Thank you guys for 10 likes. This is the minimum I always ask for, so thank you guys for delivering on that as usual. I know I can always depend on you guys, but Alec Johnson also saying great show, guys. Appreciate it, appreciate it. It's always good for get my brothers on and we just talk some football. I'm sure you have a whole heap of things I do in your life now, especially your last weekend will just pass.
Yes,
Busy guy
sir.
yourself. But yeah, it's always good where we can just take a break
Bro,
from
bro,
life and
respect.
just
I
delve into
appreciate
the
them being
football,
on
you
here,
know?
man. Respect, bro.
But yeah, I don't remember, I can't lie. I didn't prepare all the list of matchups that I previewed, but I do remember some of them, especially the more key ones. But the first one was Doku versus Zinchenko. We already spoke of it. Um, I think Enketia versus Diaz was the next one. Now,
That wasn't
I
a
was
competition, bro.
I was very very disappointed with whatever Enketia thought or
Bro,
imagined he
for
was doing on the pitch, and I had a feeling that would have been the move that Arteta made because people were saying play Jesus down the middle, Trossard on the left, and Nelson on the right, but from previous games this season, we know that he would have put Jesus on either wing because he did it against Spurs. Put Jesus on the left wing and then put Nketiah to the middle. Since Saka is out now and Trossard is fit, you put Jesus on the right and Nketiah down the middle. And I don't think that particularly worked. I thought he got into some great positions on the ball, but He always just flatters to the sea.
Bro, the man always, bro, the man is not ready, bro.
I
I'm
don't.
scared of
So
it.
I really don't like him movement. Like when I see people like Erdegaard on the ball, Rice on the ball, or even one of the wingers in more central positions on the ball, and I'm looking at Nketiah to see where he's going to go. It's a stark contrast in terms of watching Erling Haaland. And that is including the fact that Haaland isn't getting much chances right now. People are getting the ball to him. But the runs that he makes are there to where if you're looking for him, you can probably find him. Nketiah looks like a headless chicken sometimes to where he doesn't know where he should be going. Like he's running into another Arsenal player or he's running right next to one of our defenders. I'm like, bro, what's this guy doing? Like,
He's just not good enough, man. He's just
I
not
don't think he's Arsenal quality, especially for where you guys want to be.
good enough.
I mean, I'm
Like
thinking
if we want to beat you guys to a title, we cannot have Eddie Nketiah leading the line. We will
he
not.
cannot be starting, but you know what? I don't even think he's that much effective coming off the bench right now. I can't lie. I think he gets good patches of form based on he sees a chance coming in. Jesus is injured, so he just gets into the opportunity and he's like, all right, I need to stake a claim right now. And then he has a good string of games, scoring some goals, and he looks very clinical.
He's a
But
streaky player.
yeah, yeah, and I don't like them. I really don't like them.
Let me tell you.
Jesus was another one of those players. Well, no, Jesus was a streaky. He was just very inconsistent. But
Let me tell you how I know he's not
yeah,
good. Bro, he's playing with some of the best players in the Premier League right now. Right? He's playing in a team that plays good football. They have good quality players, and
hmm
that can provide him with service to score goals. Is that a case where he's not being served like probably like Manu with Hoyland, where you don't really
yeah,
give him a lot of chances? He's in a team where he'll get chances, and bro,
right,
he's just flat as to deceive, bro. He doesn't impact games. He doesn't, he's just there, and he's always like his awareness in front of the goal, his technique, his accuracy, and being clinical, bro. He just doesn't have that. With Nketiah, you need to give him like 4 or 5 chances to score a goal.
right,
You know,
yeah.
while some strikers just need one boom back at the net and that's it. But yeah, bro, he's not good enough.
Well, we always talk about big clubs. Like for me, I like to keep the same energy and be consistent, right? I don't think McTominay is good enough for Manchester
It's right.
United. I don't care. Yeah, him have him 2 goals off the bench and thing, but that doesn't change how I view him overall. There's a United fan that I regularly speak with, and he said that he thinks he's terrible at CDM, but he thinks he's good as a squad player because he's good in centre mid. I agree with that, but every time you see him, I play CDM, and every time I see him, I play like shit. So I keep that opinion that he's not good enough for a club of Manchester United's stature and where they want to be. Where they are now, you could say that well he fits right in because United are shit. So of course you're gonna have shit players, but in terms of where you want to go, come on,
It's
man.
not good enough.
Nketiah, like bro, we don't want to start out where we think this guy's level should be, but I could see him playing at like a Everton, and we know where Everton is in the league table right now. So,
Yeah, or he could be playing at a like a Brentford or something like that.
like you just said, you said he needs like 5 chances for him to score one. Why are you bringing him off the bench to get you a goal then? They are gonna bring him off the bench so you can give him 5 chances and hope he score.
Bro, he's just I don't know,
Think you
and
need
that's the
better.
thing. That's a decision I disagree with Arteta with. Like I don't. I think you need to go out and buy a striker. I think you need to go out and buy
I think even
Ivan
if you did
Tony or
Balogun,
somebody.
keep Balogun, sell
I,
Nketiah.
I, I,
Do
I
that
in
then.
this summer, I rather they kept Balogun. That was my
That
personal
was the
opinion,
right choice.
bro. I rather they because I'm saying, bro, Arteta, how much chance they're going to give this dude? You never give Balogun a chance, and he went and scored 19 goals in the Uber Eats league, and then you give this guy Nketiah
Mm.
so many chances, and him always going to let you down because he's just not that good enough of a player.
And fans that they always love to cling on to good performances and they like to give a lot of benefit of the doubt, which fans I understand fans being reactionary. You're fans. Go ahead and do that. But after I'm getting little vein of farm and
And
the bench is in
it was deep like
trouble and
Rashford, like
Ketia's in the room. Why I'm scored 3 goals since I sang the come out?
you mean Arsenal in trouble? Came in a room.
Hey,
Arsenal in trouble.
don't kill me, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the next match. Oh, and obviously Ruben Diaz. Whenever he was tested, I thought he was brilliant in the game. I thought he had a really
It
good
was
game.
it was
Passing
it was
wise,
no contest. It was no contest. It was an
yeah,
annihilation.
fair. Passing wise, I get that's again not his. That's not his mo. That's like Ederson and making world class saves. He'll give you good saves. When you get a world class save, you have to appreciate it. But we didn't bring Ederson into the team for his world class saving ability, right? So I'm not going to kill him and say, why I've never met the world class save there. Get him out of the team. We know beforehand, so that's not what he's here for.
It's not
Diaz,
his strength.
he's good on the ball, but he's not here to be John Stones. He's here to be Ruben Diaz, an absolute rock in the defense. So I'm not going to kill him when I see him misplace a pass. Same thing with Nathan Ake. I don't understand why people judge these players by these standards. Again, if you're trying to be general and saying like every player get judged on the same scale, but I like to understand that different players are good in different areas. I know that I'm compromising a little bit at this because they're really good in this. You get what I say?
Yeah, get what you're saying.
But yeah, you can go ahead and start off with this one. But the next matchup that I was looking to speak on and we spoke about with crew in the preview was Erling Haaland coming up against Saliba. And
Saliba.
you know what? You know what? When I mentioned it to crew, he said he thought it would be more of Haaland versus Gabriel. But I knew that it was going to be Saliba versus Haaland. I was so certain of it. But go right ahead.
I
Give me your
mean,
assessment.
as I said, bro. I mean, to be honest, I had him as the best centre back in London.
You
He's
mean
the
the
best centre
Eketia
back.
comment?
uh, it's terrible.
Yeah, big up erratic.
I mean, bro. If it was like if it was against Holland, Gabriel.
Mm.
I mean, Holland cooked Gabriel last February, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. But if it's Saliba, it's going to be different because I mean, his quality. You know, he's strong. He's fast. He has good touches and he can pass the ball. So I mean, I mean, Saliba won that battle, but
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, if Saliba won the battle that day, I mean, it wasn't really no contest, but not. And to be honest, it's kind of unfair to Erling because that's not really his game, bro. Isn't it?
in
Once
terms of what?
yeah, what in terms of like dual and he's
Mm.
just not that type of player. He's just giving the ball in the box and putting the back of the net. And because so his poor game is on himself, yes, but it's also because of the midfield weren't giving him the supply. So I mean, it was Saliba was excellent, excellent, but to say that it was like a master class, it wasn't really because I'm say the game wasn't big, it was cagey, it was just midfield. It was really a
Yeah,
defense versus defense. So anybody who wasn't in the defense not gonna really have a high mark because the defenders were so good. So I
yeah.
mean, Haaland lost out on the battle, and Saliba is our best defender. He's our most
Quality player, man.
quality defender. He's a bargain. I mean, I don't know why it took so long for Arteta to have him in the team. But yeah, bro, I mean, it's just one of those games where, we'll just take it. I mean, if we lose him, bro, oh Lord, it's not looking good, bro. You see me? So, yeah, but I mean, Saliba won that battle. So I'll give Saliba over Haaland that game.
All right, so just to speak on Saliba real quick. I think he's an absolutely outstanding player, man. I don't understand why he hasn't been getting opportunities for France, especially over the summer and the last season, the
Yeah, I
way
don't
we
know
have.
how that
But
Bayern dude starts over.
bro,
His name Upamecano.
Upamecano, bro, it
Bro, that
must be
is
some sort of
trash.
agenda thing where like the manager just love Upamecano specifically. It can't be based on ability, bro. No way.
It's not
I mean,
better.
I even think Upamecano is trash, but compared to Saliba, might as well be
Yeah,
because Saliba was definitely one of the best defenders in the Premier League last season, and it should be considered the best league in the world, right?
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now again this season, man, Rose Rice of a defender playing out from the back. I know he was scoring some goals last season as well. And 1v1, absolute monster, bro. Like, oh, we have the defensive ability. Nah, I mean, I say, hey, I nearly said something mad a while ago, but how 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 you're that good defensively in terms of 1v1s to where it's kind of similar to attackers coming up against Ruben Diaz, right? Where you know you're backing as a Manchester City fan, you're backing Ruben Diaz to come out on top of this. Arsenal fans, I have never heard one Arsenal fan worry like, yo, this guy come up against Saliba now, like, what am I gonna do? No, it's always, yeah, man, Saliba got broke up that youth
Yeah,
here
yeah,
now
yeah.
and win the ball. Like,
You know he's gonna close it out.
there's
Yeah,
so much confidence coming out of the Arsenal
really,
fan base
right.
in terms of backing Saliba, and rightfully so, because I think he's great. But Haaland in particular, like you said, that's not his game. He's not like a Jesus where you expect him to get the ball and put it to Saliba's legs or dribble around him and drop him or something like that. That's not really his game. He's a poacher. That's really his main selling point, right?
Yeah,
Where I was unhappy in that game in regards to Erling Haaland, I don't think we created anything for him. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying in regards to we know what the player's best abilities are. I see people judging Haaland saying he did absolutely nothing in the game. Now, when we bought Erling Haaland, watching him at Dortmund, watching him for Salzburg, watching him for Norway, I have never seen Haaland get the ball on the wing or on the halfway line and walk the ball into the goal from there like Mbappe. We know that's Mbappe's thing, right? But for
yeah. That's not
Haaland,
his
we
game.
know
That's not
what
his
he's
game.
good at. You give him the chances, he gives you goals. That's a trade-off. So if you don't give him any chances, why are you then expecting him to go and create a goal for himself? It's you're measuring him by the wrong standards, and I think that's a bit unfair on the player,
You guys traded
bro.
goals for the fluidity and so that and so that you guys can realize even in the Champions League, a goals win the Champions League is not really how well they played. And so a team can play trash, but then score a one goal and you're out. So you traded that because they wanted a clinical striker.
Let me give you a
And
good point here. We
mhm.
look on a couple seasons ago. We have played false nine for 2 years. One, when time Aguero was getting so injured, he basically wasn't in the team very often. So we moved into a more false nine formation there. And then the next season after Aguero left and we never get Hurricane, where we still played the false nine and we won the league in both occasions, right? Then we get Haaland and we seal the three-peat with a striker. Throughout those 2 years where we are playing false nine, everybody was complaining, oh, we're missing so many chances. We're trying to walk the ball into the back of the net all the time. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen the ball roll so slowly across the face of the goal, and there's nobody there because Foden is
Even
at
that
the edge of
Madrid
the box
remember that Madrid game at home.
with Grealish. Like the man put the ball right across the box 2 times and nobody was there, bro. And
Man,
it's like,
you
oh
guys should
my
have
god,
annihilated Madrid. The matter a
annoying.
couple years when the
So,
guys dropped out, they come back,
right.
Isco come back.
So look at that now. And now we got a striker, we got a big number nine to be dominant in those type of situations. I know people are saying, oh, why doesn't he drop deep and link up with the player and create chances for himself? Bro, we know that was not what we were going to get from him when we signed him in the first place. So I think it's a bit unfair now to be beating him with that stick and saying, oh, this, that, and the other. I think yes, criticize him for sure because he is basically a passenger in the game. But I don't think it's his. I don't think the main fault is on his shoulders for being a passenger in the game. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm more looking
Agreed.
towards the fact that Foden wasn't getting on the ball in advanced positions. Alvarez wasn't getting on the ball in advanced positions. Kovacic is not going to give us anything in the final third unless he's a intercept. He might intercept the ball in the final third. Same thing with who else was there in that midfield area? As was Bernardo Kovacic and somebody else. Let me get the lineup real quick. But you get the point what me I try and make.
I think it was Bernardo Kovacic,
Let me
Alvarez,
look at it real quick. Alvarez was basically,
a winger.
I don't even want to say out wide because I don't know what we were doing. Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis was
Rico
the
Lewis,
right
Rico
there.
Lewis.
Again, Rico Lewis was the one getting the ball in the most advanced positions, but he was struggling to find Haaland as well. And this is something that we spoke about in regards to the Leipzig game in the Champions League, because he had his opportunity to find Haaland at one point, and he made another decision in which the opportunity then fizzled out, and then tried to get the ball to Haaland afterwards, and it just didn't work because the pace wasn't there anymore. So it's just this that type of stuff. And I think if we were to be, say KDB was in the team, because he's a guy who can, in a game like this that it's really tight defensively, where defenses are being really strong, he can be that guy to just pry it open by force. Like, me I go send a pass for just go straight past Saliba and Gabriel, and it a go land pan Haaland foot, and him a go make the run and connect to it. And then boom, that one chance you give we a goal, and a 1-1 now, or we just win 1-0 because we go up early, and then we lock shop and then Unu couldn't break we down and the Martinelli chance doesn't happen. That could have been in an alternate universe, but at the end of the day, like for me, get the chances to Erling Haaland. It's supposed to be the whole point of us setting up into games because if we can get the ball to Erling Haaland, it's not an Nketiah situation. Him don't need five. If you get him five really good opportunities, and most days him gonna give you 4 goals. I'm just being
True.
honest. This season, I know that he has had his misses that are glaring, and we're looking back at it like, come on, Haaland, you're usually burying these every single time. But at the end of the day,
I mean,
we,
man, the
we
man still
can't we
score 8
can't then
goals.
cuss him for not giving him anything to work with and then saying, "Oh, a your fault." That's just my take on it.
True.
MCFR TV says controversial. Saliba is not in top three centre backs.
So what
Like
is the
I
top
said,
three?
huh?
I want to know what is his top three.
Hey, go ahead and drop your top three in the chat, MCFR, and we'll get Utah's thoughts on it. But like I said before, everybody have their own opinions. I don't necessarily agree with this one. Controversial, you could say hot take, sun
That
level
take.
hot take, but yeah, I don't particularly agree with that one. Also
I
big
mean,
respect
if
for
you have,
Utah.
and oh, the person I would say better probably if you talk you right now, maybe Diaz, well, Stones, and who,
in
there's
the in the
anybody
Premier League.
in the Premier League we're talking right now. Diaz,
Yeah, no, that
Stones.
that alone would make him a top three. You could argue Vardia, but bro, I have seen way more of
Yeah,
Saliba than
too
Vardia so
soon, too
far,
soon for Guardiola.
and that's my problem with how people are looking at things now. Bro, the man play 8 games for City in the Prem. But now I gonna start putting him in them conversations there. Just like how people are say, oh, rank Doku with Mahrez, Sane, Sterling. Them, I'm like, bro, no, 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 way too soon. A lot of these guys finished them City career already and
Yeah,
established
give
themselves.
them time for development. Yeah,
Give
put
them
too much
some time
weight
for
on
cook.
them. Just give them time for cook and
Give them
settle.
some time for cook. But some big respect from MCFR saying you should have like 50K subs, and he says you speak so much sense. He does have a way with words, doesn't he? After all, this is my attorney at law, of course, my personal lawyer. If I
Yes,
didn't tell you
yes,
guys at the
yeah.
start. But yeah, big up to MCFR in the chat, man. And he also
Respect, bro.
says great chemistry between the two of you.
Yeah,
Hey, it's
respect, bro.
natural, it's natural. But is there another particular matchup that you wanted to speak about? Because we're
Um,
up to an hour and 32 minutes now.
any other specific matchup? Probably I will just say to touch on the mid. As I said, I wanted the midfield matchup more in terms of the Foden. I wanted the Foden probably. Who would Foden matchup to? Was Foden playing in the middle or was he playing out wide? Because I was
That's what I'm
unsure.
saying. He was basically doing the both of them. So if you realize we would set up differently. Look at last season where if Foden is playing on the wing, he's clearly going up against Ben White in that match, right? But
Hmm.
I don't remember him matching up with Ben White at all because he was kind of tucking in to help in those midfield areas. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to find out a way where if this is going to happen, then he needs to be able to get on the ball with space and then carry the ball up the pitch. I've seen Bernardo Silva do that from a midfield position, obviously out and out number 8. But
Yeah.
if you're going to have Foden dropping deep into those midfield positions instead of having him knock it back to Rico Lewis or Kovacic and then go back up and then have them dictate where the ball goes next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe try to have him take the ball in those positions and then bring it upfield himself. Obviously, you risk him losing it, but he needs to have the ball at his feet in advanced positions at the edge of your box, like in your final third,
He
going
should be in the
forward
final
again.
third. So I was trying to think that probably I was saying, I wonder how did he match up against Declan Rice in that game? But he wasn't there. He wasn't there. I mean, I think Declan Rice had a good game. Um, but I think yeah, Declan Rice definitely had a good game. And Jesus had a okay game. I mean, we talk about everybody who played. I mean, as I said, bro, it's just 8 games. Calm down. City just won the three-peat. They are the treble. Just relax. They have the best. They have the best midfield ever. It's not there. We will beat them without Rodri. Like, bro, just calm down. I mean, just
Yep.
calm down. He wasn't the best team. It wasn't their strongest 11. No. Likewise, we didn't have our strongest 11, but I mean, it's tit for tat, bro. So just calm down and just enjoy a win and but stop going like you win a trophy, bro. Cause we battled the league 93%, and we did not win. So we can't be hyping up this win over City. They already took the trophy and laugh in our face, bro. I mean, there's no coming back from that. So just
All right.
humble and come. So he
Let's
said,
get
be it
into
Stones,
this.
be as
Into
Ake.
this quickly. I do have to
Disagree.
go. Come, I have to go pick up my wife. She's
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
have left work soon. But for me, okay, we've been putting him in the left back conversation because that's where he predominantly plays for Manchester City, right? And if we're going to put him into that left back conversation as the best left back in the league right now, I don't feel comfortable also saying he's also the best centre or one of our top three centre backs in the league. And if I'm being honest, I'd probably take Saliba. Probably take Saliba in centre back over Nathan Ake in centre back right now.
I can't put him as a centre back
Personally.
because he hasn't been playing it for Man City. Any other centre back, I'll probably look at this Ramiro, but he had a poor season last year. And to be honest, to say 8 games this season, he's going
Him
to be
look good
back.
so far, but yeah,
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
based if you're looking at Saliba came into the league to know,
Yeah, he
you
has been
can't you
good.
can't say Romero,
Yeah, can't
unfortunately not. But
be.
Romero as well.
Yeah, man.
Um, Alec Johnson also says Premier League is not German football. Let them know. And this might be in tandem with what MCFR was saying about Haaland shooting from outside the box. That is true. I would love to see him do that more often, but that could just be instructions from Pep saying, you know what, um, it's less likely for us to score from you shooting outside the box. It's more likely like we turn over possession or it gets
Yeah,
saved.
you
But
Pep rather keep position and then just be
then take a
shooting
big
outside
risk
the
like that.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
As
one
in,
time that we saw him do it, which was against Wolves, him score it.
he
So and I was
scored.
very happy with that. And see,
And
Shaq
anybody
called
was
me
shoot from
right at
outside the
home.
box. More than like Roger. So,
Shaq called me right now. Yeah, and more
yeah,
often than not, he's scoring them. And Rodri is
yeah.
playing deeper as well. So usually when that happens, then that's the type of situation where it comes out. But yeah, we have to close off right now.
Yeah, guys.
Big up to
Thanks
you
again.
for coming on. I do
You
have
know,
to
bro.
run because
Anytime,
I'm running a
anytime.
bit late. But thanks for coming on and having a
Thanks,
conversation, bro.
guys.
Hopefully you'll be back soon. Guys,
No, no, no.
subscribe to the JA Dugout. Show them some love. Show them some support. No more comments to go through either. Do continue to like the stream and subscribe. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Until
Take
next
care,
time.
bro. All right.